In this lecture, we are going to learn about some of the special operators available in C. These are some of the special operators available in C. Let's start with the first one, that is size of operator. We have already discussed size of operator in one of our previous lectures. Now, size of operator will help us to return the size of the variable or a data type. Okay, so we have already seen if we write something like this, size of char. So this is the argument that we pass in this operator. Remember, this is not a function, size of is an operator. Okay, so if I pass char, it will return me 1 because size of character is 1 bytes. Okay, we have already discussed size of operator. Now the next one is array subscript operator. Now we have not discussed what is an array. So whenever we discuss about array, I'll be talking about this array subscript operator. Do not worry about it. Similarly, there is this structure, the concept called as structures in C programming. Okay, so whenever we discuss a structure, we'll be discussing these two operators, that is the dot operator, that is member selection via name, the dot operator, and the member selection via pointer, this arrow. Okay, these are the operators that we are going to learn while we are covering the chapter on structures. Alright, so do not worry about it. Similarly, we have got a dedicated chapter for pointers, very important concept in C. There we will be learning about this dereference operator. Alright, we have already seen one operator called as ampersand. This is also a special operator. This is used for finding the address of a operand or address of a variable. Okay, so this also comes in pointer. We will be discussing about address operator also in details in pointers. Okay, now coming to one more operator, this is called as conditional operator. Now conditional operator is used in decision making statements. Okay, so next chapter we are going to start with decision making, wherein I am going to cover in details about this conditional operator. And remember, this conditional operator is a ternary operator, that is it works with 3 operands. Okay, dedicated lecture will be there on this conditional operator in my next chapter. And finally, there is a comma operator. Okay, now in this lecture I am going to discuss in more details about this comma operator, and all other operators we will be discussing in our subsequent lectures and in our subsequent chapters. Alright, so let's get into the comma operator. Now if you just look at this comma operator, you may have seen comma while declaring a variable. Like for example, if you look at this line, I am doing int a equals to 1, comma b equals to 2. Now this comma is not the comma operator. This is just a separator, right? It is just separating. I am actually trying to do int a equals to 1 semicolon and int b equals to 2. This is what it means. This one is just a separator. This is not a comma operator. Similarly, we have already discussed this power function 2 to the power 5 in math.h, right? So here I have 2 arguments that I am passing in this power function. The first is the base, second one is the exponent, right? Now I am using this comma to separate these 2 arguments. This is also a separator. This is not a comma operator, right? In fact, the comma operator is a binary operator, okay, which is explained here in number 2. It is an operator, right? So let's see how it works. Now I have taken an example here. A is assigned to the value 1. Okay, so A is 1, B is 2, and X is declared as a variable. Now X is having some garbage random value. Okay, so these are the boxes for holding the values. A is having 1, B is having 2, and X is not assigned any value, so it takes some garbage value. Okay, now if you just look at this expression, this one, okay, here I have used the comma operator here. So X equals to, inside the parenthesis, I have given A plus equals to 3, comma A plus B. Now this is the comma operator. It is a binary operator because it has 2 operands. Okay, so the first operand is this one for this comma, and this is the second operand. Okay, now how does it work is very simple. Always it is enforced whenever you have comma operator, the first operand is evaluated first. Okay, so this is evaluated first. Okay, that means A plus equals to 3 means what? A plus equals to 3 is as good as A equals to A plus 3. So 3 is added to A and the answer is stored back in A. So if I add A is 1, so 1 plus 3 is 4, and that will be stored back in A. So this will be overwritten by 4. So now A becomes 4. Okay, so first this one is evaluated, and then the next, that is second operand, is evaluated. Okay, so now if I evaluate the second operand, A plus B, what is A plus B? A is 4, B is 2, so 4 plus 2 is 6. So A plus B will evaluate to 6. Now that's all. Now there's one more important thing to note down. Now this entire thing is done, isn't it? Right? Now the output, it returns, this comma operator will return the output of the second operand, right? So the second operand is evaluated to 6. So the output of this entire thing would be 6. It will return 6. Okay. And this 6 will be stored in X here. So finally, this garbage value will be replaced by the number 6, the value 6. Okay. So it's very simple to remember. It's a binary operator. The first operand is evaluated first. Okay. And then you evaluate the second operand. Whatever is the answer of the second operand would be the answer of the entire comma expression, right? So in this case, that entire thing we are storing in the variable X. So now finally X becomes A plus B, that is equals to 6. This is how comma operator works. And a very important point to know, comma operator and separator, comma separator, they are different things. Okay. Now let's take this one more example. Here A is 1, B is 2 and X is a garbage value. So this is represented here in a diagram. Okay. Now you see in this expression there is no parenthesis like this available, right? So whenever the parenthesis is not available, let's see what happens. Okay. One very important point to note is that comma operator is having the least priority. Least priority. It is having the last priority. Okay. So whenever this kind of expression is evaluated, because comma is having the least priority, what happens is this will be evaluated at the end. The way this one is evaluated is, first of all, X is equals to A plus equals to 3. So this is evaluated first, A plus equals to 3. Okay. And then this is evaluated, assignment, only then the comma is evaluated, because comma will be evaluated at the end. Okay. So first this is evaluated, then this entire thing is evaluated, only then this entire thing. That means the comma is evaluated at the end because it is having the least priority. Okay. Let's see what is the output. So first of all, A plus equals to 3. That means 3 is added to A. So A plus 3 would be how much? 1 plus 3, that is 4. So 4 would be stored back in A. So now this will be overwritten by 4. So now A becomes 4. Okay. Now 4 will be stored again in the variable X, because this is evaluated. This equals to will be evaluated next. Okay. So X becomes 4. X becomes 4. Okay. This garbage value will be overwritten now, and this will be replaced by the value 4. Okay. Finally, this A plus B is evaluated. So 4 plus 2 would be 6, right? And then this is not stored anywhere else. Okay. So finally, the answer for A is 4, B is 2 and X is 4. Okay. So whenever you want comma to be evaluated first, make sure that you include the comma operator into the parenthesis, because by default comma would be evaluated at the end because it is having the least priority. This is how comma operator works. Now in my next lecture, I am going to talk about the operator precedence and associativity. Until then, stay tuned.